Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another episode here at WILDMAN Lives. I'm your host, WILDMAN. Now on today's episode, I'm doing a Q&A. I had just finished working out, and there's been some questions that I've had from my Instagram and from my YouTube channel that I thought I would address today. So the first question that was asked is, since my bicep reattachment surgery, how is everything going so far? And the answer is pretty decent. When I went to physical therapy on my very first day, where I had the green light to go ahead and start strengthening this tendon, I surpassed all the tests right away. And that's just because of all my training in the past and making sure that I'm well balanced all around. There really wasn't that much that I needed to improve on. I just needed to get this tendon to be part of the program again. But when it comes to lifting weights, I feel a lot of instability right now, because not only did this bicep tendon have to take a massive punch in the face after it ruptured and then had to go through the surgery process, but my shoulder and all the stability muscles in it are actually very dormant, and so I had to wake those up, and it's definitely a lot smaller on this side than it is on this side. But that's as expected. I mean, come on, I just had surgery, and that's going to take some time to rebuild back up. So the answer to that question is, it's going fantastic. I'm actually surpassing everything that I'm planning. Every goal that I have for every session, I have a certain number that I want to hit, or there's a rep scheme that I want to hit, and either it's way too easy and I have to go up, or I hit the goal. So I'm doing pretty good right now, so thanks for asking. Another question that I get a lot is, what kind of protein supplement do I take? Now basically there's two kinds of protein. One is called whey protein and the other one is called casein protein. Now, the only thing you really need to know about the two is whey protein absorbs faster and casein protein absorbs slower, but it's necessary to have both. So drinks like these, Muscle Milk, they're mainly all whey protein. And pretty much right after you're done lifting, within the first, I want to say 30 to an hour after you're done lifting, your body is going to be craving protein to try to rebuild what was lost and what was broken down, and to build it back stronger. So for that kind of protein, the best protein to take is a whey protein supplement, such as Muscle Milk. There's many different kinds of whey protein out there. There's also powder form that you could take with milk or with water, which is kind of nasty, but if you're trying to cut weight, then you got to do it. There's also some other drinks that have whey protein, but it also has casein protein in it as well, and that's also good, because the whey protein will be absorbed right away. And then as your body is recovering over the next couple of days, that casein protein slowly digests and slowly absorbs. And so that gives your body more protein to use over a longer period of time. But definitely right after you're done lifting, whey protein is the way to go if you're trying to build muscle and you're trying to build performance. If you're trying to lose weight, you can take casein in lieu of whey protein, because if you're trying not to be too bulky, I understand that. Typically 20 grams of whey protein is pretty safe all around. It'll help you build muscle, or it'll help you tone, whichever one you're trying to do. But if you're trying to build more muscle mass, then obviously you're gonna have to take more than that, 30 to 40 grams. But you also wanna have casein in that same drink as well, or you could take it as a separate supplement. But that's the only kind of protein that I recommend. Typically what I do is I only drink whey protein after my weight training sessions, and that's it. Then I focus more on animal meats, like chicken or steak or pork or street tacos, something that has a high protein, but mainly casein protein is in animal meat. So if you're eating enough meat, you're getting enough casein protein. You don't really need to take a supplement for that. And I recommend that way better than taking a supplement in lieu of eating animal meat. Now, I'm an animal lover, and I understand that people don't like to eat animals because that's just kind of the way society is these days. And in that case, you can take a casein protein supplement, and then you can try to pair it with your diet the best that you can. So really, it's up to you. Now, the final question that I get is, how do I fit conditioning into weight training? Now, that's a really good question, because a lot of lifters, especially that are my friends, or if you see a lot on YouTube, the most biggest lifters out there, they take a lot of time between their sets as they're lifting, but they also don't do a lot. They sit around and play on their phone or goof around with their buddies and they only do one movement, right? So let's say they're trying to work up to 80%, 3 reps at 80% deadlift, and as they're going up, they just kind of sit for 10 minutes in between each set. Now, if you're an elite lifter and you are competing at the highest level, you're gonna have to do that, because at that point, you're in some type of like special sport where you need to train a certain way. And elite strongmen and elite powerlifters have to train like that, because not only are they training strength, they're also training skill. So they have to make sure that they get everything right, and they can't be too tired when they're performing at the highest level that no other human can lift on earth. But for the rest of us mortals that have to go to a career job every single day and work 40 to 80 hours a week, and then we have to take care of our families, that's just not going to do for us. Our main goal is probably just to make sure that we are able to have the energy to play with our children, to do fun activities with our children after work, and if a bear comes along, we'll be able to fight him off. Just kidding, not a bear, but maybe another human. If another human wants to fight you, then you know at least you have the strength to pick them up and throw them for a distance. So when it comes to that, I highly recommend giant set format. Giant set format, as you're doing the barbell compound movements, will absolutely get you conditioned, and you don't have to do a lot. But by the end of your strength training session, you'll also have a decent amount of conditioning numbers as well, where you're able to get a pretty decent conditioning workout that most powerlifters and strongmen don't get. Another thing to do is, if you just want to train a certain skill and then do conditioning, I highly recommend doing something simple at first, like a stationary bike. And during the summertime, I like to swim. So during the summertime, I usually swim after my workouts. That's a good way to get blood into your joints and to get some extra conditioning. And then in the wintertime, I usually use a stationary bike. And if you see my channel long enough, I also do jump ropes in my giant set format. And I also do some running intervals as well. Now, what I like to do every once in a while is sometimes I'll swim a straight 500 meter in the pool, because to me, that's a good balance to be swimming at for not being a competitive swimmer. Every once in a while, I'll run a mile as fast as I can, like once every quarter, just to see what my time is. Sometimes I run even 2 miles, not to see what my time is, but just to see if I can keep a steady pace and finish it. I feel like that if you could run a mile at a decent pace, at least finish 2 miles at a slow pace, and swim 500 meters in one sitting, I think that you're in pretty decent conditioning shape. It'll definitely carry over if you have to fight a bear or another human to protect your family. So there you have it. Those are the questions and answers for the day. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And if you have any questions, please submit them to me on my YouTube channel. You can leave a comment. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. And you can also leave the questions on my Instagram. And if you have any content that you want to see, or you have questions that you want answered, go ahead and just contact me, and I'll be happy to check it out and see if it's appropriate for viewing purposes. Until next time, thank you.